video, I want to talk about my second approach, which is the person-centered approach. Okay. Now, the person-centered approach as an integrated counselor, it's a theory that primarily puts you as a client and treats you as a person first and without judgment. Hello, greetings, and welcome back to CFT Cornerstone Focus Therapy, your rock-solid foundation for building relationships, for your emotional well-being, for spiritual as well as psychological solutions. I'm Etienne Becker, your host, counselor, psychotherapist, and spiritual consultant. So, the person-centered theory focuses on placing you as a client as the center, treating you as a person. And it's more focused on me as a therapist and my demeanor and how I behave and how I treat you as a person. Okay? So some people do not have it. Other people have it. And it's very important for you to feel comfortable before you can talk about your issues, all right? And sometimes you can feel like you don't want to open up to somebody. I'm laughing because the person-centered approach waters down the psychodynamic element, all right? So the psychodynamic element is so deep. Like, you're looking at so many deep things, going into your past. You want to run away from that. You don't want to face it. But with the person-centered approach, it focuses on what you can do, all right? Not how you are, not your condition or disability. It treats you as a human being and appreciates you for who you are, despite what you're going through. The first thing to do is treat you as a person and be able to interact with you before we can look at other issues, all right? So I think actually person-centered is the first approach, and then we go down to the base, and then we now look at the Gestalt therapy, all right? So the three core conditions that the person-centered therapy uses are, number one, empathy, being able to get you, being able to hear you, being able to almost understand fully what you're going through. Not fully, of course, you can never understand somebody fully and the extent at what they're going through, but at least be able to hear you, because there's so many things that you could be going through and so many emotions that you could be going through. And it's very important for me as a therapist to sit there with you and build that empathy, that bridge of empathy first before you can begin to tackle issues, all right? So it's very important in therapy because it sort of blends and gives a good mix to the therapy, because you're able to feel comfortable, to feel free, to be able to feel like a human and to be appreciated for who you are. So empathy is one of the core elements. You see, when it comes to integrated therapy, we pick on different elements in different in different theories. So if you look at psychodynamic, there are so many elements in it. If you look at person-centered, there's so many elements in it. And if you look at Gestalt therapy, there's so many elements in it. But as a therapist, I pick the elements that I feel are going to be important for you and be able to address what you're going through. So person-centered, the core elements are, number one, the empathy that I've just spoken about. Number two is UPR, unconditional positive regard. Despite what you've done, you need to be regarded without judgment, unconditional positive regard. All right. At the end of the day, you're a human being. Despite what's going on in your life or what you have done, you are a human being, and you are appreciated. I appreciate you unconditionally. I'm not going to say that, oh, you've done this, or you do this, or this is what's going on, and you feel judged. That one is out. Unconditional positive regard. It's very important for you as a client to be able to open up. And then the third thing is congruence. Now, when it comes to congruence, it's important to blend it inside, because it's important for also me to sort of point out on some things that you may be doing that are contrary to what you're trying to achieve, contrary to, let me say that give a negative view to how you are, and they need to be named for you to just understand that actually, you know what, I think there's one or two things that you need to also look at. So being congruent. It's a very tricky word to kind of define, but it's important to be congruent. So this is the person-centered approach. This is another approach that I use as a therapist to help you with the issues that you're going through. And guess what? It's really getting hot in here. And I look forward to speaking to you in the next video, and I will be talking to you about the Gestalt therapy. All right? Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think. Do hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.